Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jermaine Dukes from JD Drum Styles, back at you with another video drum lesson. Today I'm gonna go back over what we talked about before, but I'm going to take it to the next level now. So we talked about 8 notes and accenting the downbeats and accenting the upbeats of 8 notes, and we talked about playing 16 notes on the hi-hat, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and we talked about how these nuances on the hi-hat can define what a groove is. So, and I told you to practice and work on those nuances. So today I'm going to show you some exercises on how you can work on those nuances, because I hear a lot of beginning drummers, you know, and some intermediate drummers who, when they're playing, they play these patterns, but then their right foot is following their right hand instead of them being able to keep the same pattern and play what they want to play with their right foot. So I'm going to show you how you can develop some independence, you know, or interdependence on between your right hand and your right foot, so that you can keep playing that same pattern and play what you want to on the bass drum. Another thing I wanted to talk about as well is that not only does the hi-hat define the groove, where you're playing on the hi-hat will determine, you know, whether a groove is in 6/8. It can determine whether the groove's in 12/8 and 4/4. You know, that right there can really, what you playing on the hi-hat really can define a groove. But we talked about that, so let's get into how you can work on keeping those hi-hat patterns and being able to play what you want to play with your left foot. Some coordination exercises for you. So what I got for you today is, I got something for those who read music, and I have something for those who don't read music. If you read music, you can go to the music store and get this famous book right here, Progressive Steps to Syncopation for the Modern Drummer by Ted Reed. Progressive Steps to Syncopation for the Modern Drummer by Ted Reed. And all you're going to need is page 33 and 34 for now, although you can use the other pages. What we're going to deal with is page 33 and 34. So let me just get my metronome up off the floor. So, for those of you who can read music, let me show you. First, I'm going to show you at a medium tempo at 100 beats per minute what it will sound like if you're playing up to speed. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the first hi-hat pattern, which is just playing straight 8 notes with the side of the stick right here, making it sound real full and thick while reading page 33, number 1 through 12. Okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, take that same pattern. When I just read the patterns 1 through 12, I played them as written in 4/4 as 8 notes. Now you can take this same pattern and read them as cut time, which means that now if you were looking at number 1, instead of you having 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3, 4, now you would have 16th notes, because you're going to think of it as cut time, and it's going to be 1 E, a 2 and you're going to read that whole line, and then the next line and the next line, all of 1 through 12 in cut time, using those same 8-note patterns with the side of the stick. Now, once again, the purpose of this is so that you'll be able to improvise with your bass drum and be able to keep the hi-hat pattern all the way throughout as an ostinato, which is a pattern that doesn't change throughout the whole time you're playing whatever you choose to improvise with your right bass drum foot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an example of, and for time's sake, I'm not going to play all of them or all 3 measures. I'm going to try to do 2 measures of each one so that I can get through the pattern quicker and get to the next exercise. I'm at 100 BPM, so let's go ahead and read Syncopation, page 33, as cut time, with the ostinato being 8 notes on the hi-hat. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, that was the exercise. I played approximately 2 measures each instead of the written 3 measures for those of you who are following along, in order for time's sake not to take forever. So now, next what you can do is play this same pattern, reading it as 8 notes, reading it as 4/4, also as reading it as cut time. Play the downbeats on the hi-hat. And read the part. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was reading it as 8 notes. Now let's do it in cut time so you can hear what that sounds like. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's in cut time. Now let's do it emphasizing the upbeat. And what I'm going to do is, so that you hear the upbeat very clearly and that you know that it doesn't stop, is I'm going to open the hi-hat on all of the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, like if you're playing a disco groove. Okay? And I'm going to play a couple of measures of it in 4/4, and then I'm going to play the whole thing in cut time, just using about 2 measures each. One, two, three, four. So next, let's do it in cut time. 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah, that's the gist of it. I messed up in there, but you get the point. Right? So next, let's do 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a on the hi-hat, and play it as, I'm going to play a couple of measures as written, then I'm going to play it as cut time. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. Cut time. 1, 2, ready, go. So, then you do the same thing with playing 1 and. You demonstrate that. 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah. 3, 4. Yeah, so as you can see that this pattern can be a challenge. I still mess up on it, even though I've been practicing this kind of stuff for years. Yeah, I've been rusty on it because I haven't done it. I decided to break it back out for this lesson, but no excuses. Practice, get it done, and try to play it without making any mistakes. So that means slow it down. So also, what you can do for those who don't read music and won't use the syncopation page, what you can do is you can play those hi-hat patterns, the 8 notes, accenting the upbeats, accenting the downbeats, accenting all beats, and you can play 16th notes like this. You can play quarter notes, then play on the E's, then play on the ands, then play on the uhs, then play on the 1-E's, play on the ands, then play on the anders, then the ones, all the way through up to beat 4. Let me demonstrate that for you. So with just 8 notes on the hi-hat. Now, accent the downbeats. Right? So, then you know you can do it accenting the upbeats. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Then you can play this same rhythm. I didn't talk about triplets. You can play this same rhythm using triplets. So let's do it using triplets. So now what you're going to do is you're going to play the 8 notes as if there's triplets. So instead of 1 and 2 and 3, 4, it's going to be bop, 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 while keeping triplets on the hi-hat. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So that's how you could do it for triplets. And then you could play triplets playing just like you move through 16th notes. You can move through triplets. Show you that. Quarter notes, then play on the paw, then on the let, then do the first 2 of the triplet, then the last 2. Here we go. Okay, so those are exercises for you guys to get into playing those hi-hat patterns and being able to improvise with your foot, you know, so that you'll be able to play whatever you want to play. Then once you get that, take it over and put it on the ride. You know, you can really get advance with it. You know, like if we let's just say, for time's sake, I'm just gonna take the one-enders. You start playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and over here and doing hi-hat splashes, for example, and playing snare drum on 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and snare drum on 2 and 4, reading the bass drum line in cut time. That could give you a challenge right there for the more advanced guys who are not getting a challenge from this stuff. So let's try that out. So, possibilities are limitless. Play quarter notes, you know. Eight notes on the hi-hat. The upbeats on the hi-hat. That's just some examples of how you can take this to the next level with working on your patterns. And don't forget to do 8 notes, accenting all beats, 8 notes, accenting the downbeats, 8 notes, accenting the upbeats, the 1-anders, and the 1-e-ands. So, next video we're going to be talking about playing swinging, playing straight, and playing in between swung and straight, and I'm going to do my best to demonstrate how to get into those and really be able to differentiate between those different types of rhythms, because that's very important. Because just as sure as my name is Jermaine, as sure as you are a gigging drummer, somebody's going to ask you to be able to play that, and you need to have that in your repertoire, in your bag of tricks, so that if somebody asks you, oh, can you play in between straight like a funk type shuffle, you be able to pull it out just like that. You know, it's not something that you have to work on. You should already have it together if you're trying to be a gigging drummer. So I'm going to show you some things you can work on to get that together. Thanks, guys. This is Jermaine Dukes from JD Drum Styles. I hope y'all are enjoying the lessons. Please comment on the videos if you're enjoying it. Give me some constructive criticism if you're not. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel so that you will get all of my latest videos. And tell somebody, like they say in church, each one reach one. Thanks, guys.